Hey, you guys.
Hey, everybody.
We're excited to be able to come and talk to you for a little bit tonight. We're talking about the social media hamster wheel that you may have found yourself stuck on. I know that in the past, that is something that we have dealt with. We've also worked with clients that have also been in that same kind of scenario. So there's so many platforms, so many things you should be doing. Who has time for it all? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Who has time to do all of the things that need to be done as we're building a business, okay?
So ask yourself, is that social media hamster wheel keeping you stuck?
Okay, and if it is, I want to know from you, what about it is keeping you stuck, okay? Because we're going to be sharing with you a 5-step proven process that will help you stay moving forward effectively and efficiently. Again, that key word there is moving forward, okay? Because we all have the same amount of time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and how you spend that time is important.
Exactly.
And if we're on that hamster wheel, we're feeling like we're just spinning and spinning and doing all the things, but not getting the results that we're looking for, there's a couple key things that might be keeping you stuck there. I know that we dealt with it in our own business, and it is something that comes up throughout your entrepreneurial journey. Every level you get to, there's going to be times where you may find yourself in this situation that we're going to be discussing here in just a minute. Okay, so as you're hopping on, let us know where it is you're coming in from so we can give you a shout out, and we are going to get into this. Okay, so first things first. How long have you been in the position that you are in your business? I just want to know and have you think through your mind, how long have you been where you're at? And where is that specifically? Okay. Is it your first 6 months? Is it your first year, your first 3, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years? Like, how long have you been at building your business? How long have you been there?
The other question is, now that you know how long you've been there, have you reached the result, the goal that you thought that you would have reached in that time frame?
Okay, and let us know, because I know that when we started, we were like, man, this is an amazing opportunity. We are going to completely blow it out of the water. In 6 months from now, we are going to be hitting multiple 6 figures in our business. Okay, that is where we were coming in from. The thing that we were not clear on was, well, so we had the dream, right? We knew where we wanted to be. In 6 months, this is where we wanted to be in our business. But what we were gapped on is, okay, based on where you're at right now and the skills that you currently have right now, how reasonable is that goal? How reasonable is it for you to be able to get 6 figures in your business based on who you are, where you're at right now in your business, okay?
I want to share something with you guys just real quick, not to get too sidelined, but one of the things that we see a lot working with different entrepreneurs is we hear a lot of uplines. We hear a lot of, the leaders out there telling their teams to do vision boards. Okay. Vision boards are great, except the issue is a lot of people come into the business. Okay. And they are told to do a vision board, and they go out there and they put these big, nice boats, and they put these massive mansion houses, okay, and traveling exotic places throughout the world. They put all these really extravagant things on this vision board, okay.
Have you done it? Let me know if this is you, because we did it. We did it. We did this, okay.
Here's the issue, you guys. They've never, in order to have that big fancy yacht, that big fancy house, to be able to travel these places, you have to be making big money, right? You have to have millions of dollars, so to speak, to be able to have those kinds of things. Somebody who has never actually made $1 million in their life, somebody who has never owned a mansion in their life, somebody who has never lived that sort of lifestyle before, doesn't have that roadmap, so to speak, to be able to get those things. Okay, so without the how to work your way up to owning that big boat, that big house, those fancy trips, if they don't have a roadmap on the way in order to get there, what happens is, they're thinking, okay, in a few years, I'm going to have these things. Those few years come and go. They haven't reached that point. They get discouraged and they fall off and they disappear. The biggest piece is if you have not been there before, you have to be able to give them a roadmap so that they can, maybe they're living in a smaller home, they can work up to a little bit nicer house. And then from there, a little bit nicer home. And then eventually working their way step by step up to that big mansion house or something like that, right?
Okay, so that's a sideline on vision boards, okay?
Yes.
What we're talking about today, you guys, is not some big idea or belief that you just want to have someday. Okay, as Tim mentioned, for you to want it is great. To have that dream and the desire, that goal is wonderful. However, what is missing?
Mhm.
Do you know where you're at right now? And do you know what it takes? Okay. Have you done it before?
Yeah.
Or do you know who you can follow and mimic and model
Exactly.
to be able to have those similar results? Okay. So what we're talking about right now is a lot of times people get stuck in the, this is what I want to see happen.
Mhm.
This is what I want to have. This is the time frame I want it to have, but they don't stop and consider where they're currently at right now. Okay? And right now, like right now, today is the 4th, okay, of February. Where are you at right now in your business? How much time do you actually have to spend working on your business?
Yes.
Okay. And with that time, what is it that you're using that time for? Okay. We've got to know where we're at before we can figure out how to get to where we want to be.
Exactly.
Okay. And so questions to ask yourself. Okay. Write these down. This is in addition to the 5-step process that we're going to share with you. But where am I? Where am I at in my business? Where am I at in my life? Okay. Where do I want to see myself? And that, see myself tomorrow, see myself next week, see
what
myself
is that
in 30
result? What is
days.
that vision, so to speak, that I want to see?
Okay. And then from there, what is it that I need to do to get there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is it specifically that I need to do? Is it, I want to build a multiple 6-figure business in the next 3 years? Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like? What skills do you have? What platforms are you on? Where are you posting? How often are you posting? If you caught our live last week, it was on consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what it takes to be an influencer and the thing you have common at your fingertips right now with all the other influencers out there. It's a matter of how you apply. Okay.
So what are those steps?
Okay? And then what is it that you need to get there? This is where you get your brained up on paper saying, okay, this is where I'm at. These are the skills that I currently have. This is what I'm developing. Okay, write them all down,
Mm-hmm.
brain dump it.
Yep.
I can connect well with people. I am comfortable on Facebook Live. I know how to use Canva. Okay, what are all the things that you yourself right now know how to do? And then consider, okay, what am I gapped on? What are those things that maybe I'm not super efficient or proficient at that I might need to learn a little bit more about? Okay, this is you literally taking what's in your mind that you've been thinking about, the paralysis of analysis, planning, thinking, all the shiny object syndromes of all the things that you might need, and quantifying what it is that you actually have right now. What knowledge do you have right now? Okay, and what are some maybe 1 or 2 things that you might need to learn a little bit more on? Okay.
But this step is actually an important step.
This is where the
Okay,
hamster
this
wheel
is where that
happens.
hamster wheel comes in, and a lot of people end up getting stuck. Is because we finally sit down, okay, and we identify where we are, where we want to be, and what skills that we have and what we might be lacking. Okay, what skills that we may not have, or maybe we just have no idea what skills that we need to have. And so a lot of people get stuck in that, like you mentioned, that analysis paralysis, where suddenly we're like, oh man, I don't have this, I don't have that, or I have no idea.
I need at least 7 more trainings before I
I've got to go out and get, all these trainings, and we go chasing that shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that? If we go out there and we're chasing all these trainings and all these ideas, I've got to go follow this person and that person. And the struggle with that is a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck just doing that analysis. I need this, I need that, I need this. Oh, I don't have that. And they're spinning. And they're just stuck, and all their business ends up doing is just continuously spinning.
And I want to know from you if you've ever felt that way.
Yeah.
Okay, because again,
You feel like your business is spinning?
Good to have you on, Wendy. Great to have you on with us. Okay, so have you ever felt that way? I know that we have multiple times in our business at different levels. We felt like, man, like we just need that magic button. We just need that one extra training to help us just fine tune and dial it in just a little bit more before
We're preparing to prepare to prepare to prepare.
Before we take the next action. But you guys, this is where so many people get stuck. Wendy says yes, absolutely. Okay, this is where they get stuck. And what is it that causes people to get stuck here? What is it that keeps you on that hamster wheel instead of moving forward in your business? Okay. Typically, it's because they feel like they don't have everything, okay? The thing is, you guys, you don't need to know everything to be able to make your business highly effective, to be able to build the lifestyle that you need. In fact, it's not even reasonable that you have everything, that you have knowledge of everything. Our brains can only contain so much.
Exactly.
So really, what we need is what is effective to move us from point A, where we're at right now, down the road just a little bit to the next step.
You think about all those notebooks full of notes, all those notebooks full of trainings that you got like stacked up on your desk, okay, or they are piling up, which, okay.
I got some of them.
We have some. The idea is they're in notebooks because you cannot you know, it can't all stay in here at once. Okay, you go through so many different trainings and you write them down, and half the time, you know, they're lost in some notebook somewhere, and it's like, what was that one thing again?
And how many of you, and I want you to be honest about this, how many of you have said, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to go through it next weekend? And next weekend comes and you are so overloaded with things that you feel like you need to get done in your business that you never actually go back through them. Guilty. Okay, I just showed you some of mine. Okay, and to be fair, this has been collecting for years. But the point is, we get information into our minds. We overthink it. We analyze. Do I have all the pieces? Am I missing something? I just need one more thing before I can take that action. Okay. And so what is it really that is keeping you from taking the action? If you have a notebook, if you have one paragraph of something that you've listened to or you read in the last 24 hours, you have enough to show up and provide value to your audience.
Exactly.
So what is that one thing that's keeping you stuck? Most often, okay, and I want you to put it in the chat, okay, for you guys that are online with us, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Put it in the chat. What is it that's keeping you stuck from taking that action? If you've gone through trainings and you've gone through processes and your upline may have trainings, okay, there's so much information out there. What is it that's keeping you from taking that step in your business? What is it that's keeping you from excelling and having the success that you want? Okay, let me know, because it is something that is very simple, but very powerful, and it can either push you forward or it can keep you right here on the hamster wheel. Okay?
And that is the craziest thing, is a lot of times we don't realize just how simple it really is. We sit and we spin on this hamster wheel, and we just spin and we spin and we spin, and really we don't realize just how easy it is to get off that hamster wheel and to really move forward.
And you guys, it's a simple word. Okay, it starts with a C, and it's called choice. And you're like, oh my gosh, no, it can't be that simple. It can't just be choice because of all the things. Okay, the reality of it is, you guys, the thing that's keeping you stuck, that's kept us stuck in our business and most entrepreneurs out there, is the fear of failing. Okay, and that word failing,
is a big one.
That word failing or failure has typically a negative connotation to it, but the reality of it is, you do not know how to get better, and you cannot up level to the next level. Your company would not exist if there wasn't a breakdown of failure somewhere along the line.
Failure, you guys, is a positive thing. When you start looking at failure as a positive thing, it changes everything for you. Okay, failure is just part of the process. You cannot, nobody out there is perfect. Okay, nobody, none of you are perfect out there. Okay, there is no such thing. And with that, you are going to make mistakes. There are going to be things in your business that are not going to work. We have a little saying, and it's called failing fast, falling forward. Okay, that is what we like to do, because the faster I can fail, the faster I will learn something, and I can take that next step. You know, it's okay, what didn't work about that? Oh, this didn't work. So what might I change? And I can change that and move forward again. And then ask myself again, what didn't work about that? Oh, this didn't work. Okay, it's about making those incremental failures and doing them quickly that is moving you forward, because failure, you guys, is just part of the process.
And you know what? It's really cool, and I'm glad that you said that, Tim, because failure can actually be gasoline for your business.
Exactly.
If you choose to step into an uncomfortable territory and say, you know what, I may not have all the pieces right now that I feel like I need to have, okay, but this is what I have to work with right now. Okay, I've got a phone, I've got a social media account, and I have a paragraph that I listened to from a training or something my upline taught me. You've got 3 things right there in your hand, literally palm of your hand, that you can use to provide value and show up for your audience, to start building the know, like, and trust factor with your audience to attract the customers and the business partners that you want. Okay, the thing that's keeping you stuck is, oh, what if it's not perfect? Okay, and as Tim said, there is nothing that is perfect. If something was perfect, there would be no innovation. There would be no need for your business. There'd be no need for your company products. Apple would not be putting out multiple generations phones every year if everything was perfect, because there's always room to improve. Okay, so what is the 5-step process to keep you moving forward and efficiently and effectively in your business? Okay, number 1, you need to identify what your intention is. Okay, no matter if that's for your business, if you're just starting out, or maybe you're at a plateau in your business and you're not getting the momentum that you want. So identify, what is my intention now? I've made it this far. This is now where I want to go. What is the intention for that? Number 2, write it down. I don't care if it's on paper. I don't care if it's in your digital planner or whatever works for you, but you've got to get it out of your head. If it stays in your head, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to take action on it because you don't have that connection.
Not to mention, so many times we think about something, but we didn't externalize it. So a few minutes go by and we're suddenly going, oh shoot, what was that again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trust me, it helps so much to externalize things and write them down.
Yep. Number 3, you guys, is to organize. Once you've taken the time to identify what your intention is and you have written it down, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you've got it out of your head so that you can actually physically look at it, you can now start to manipulate and move around and organize what are the most important things? What are those big levers that are really going to get me the most momentum? Okay.
What are those money-making activities?
Yep.
Okay. What are those actions that you can take right now?
Today.
Because action and change can only happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It can't happen in the past or the future. It can only happen right now. So what are those steps you can take right now? And what are those money-making activities, those ones that are going to move you forward the most out of your list, and do those first.
Okay, and then number 4 is kind of a piggyback on number 3 is start with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And take action.
Yep.
Okay, that action piece is so important because, again, if you're just thinking about it, it's just in your head, it's conceptual. Okay, everybody has a different perception about it, and nobody knows what it is you have to offer, what you're thinking, or what value you have to provide to them unless you take action and you share it. Okay, whether that's a post, whether that's a Facebook Live, whether that's an email, whether that's a conversation to a friend, okay, in Messenger. Does not matter what social media platform you are on. That is a key component that you must do if you want to have a successful business. It requires action. Okay.
And like she said, start with what you have, even if you have that small little paragraph or the one big takeaway that you heard today. Maybe it's a book you read, maybe it's something you saw on TV, whatever that one big takeaway is, you have a piece of information that you can share.
Yep.
Okay.
And then number 5, you guys, is to evaluate.
Yep.
Okay, this evaluation is I would say probably one of our favorite things ever.
It is.
And we do it.
In fact, I did it just a minute ago with you guys when I was talking about failure.
Yep.
Okay. That was I was walking you essentially through an evaluation process.
And we do this on a daily basis.
Yep.
It's definitely more effective if you can do it daily. If you, if you're getting into the habit and you can only do it once a week, awesome. Okay. But I'd really encourage you to really lean into number 5, which is evaluate. And it's in this order. It's a very specific order. Okay. Number 1 is in your evaluation is what worked about what I did. Not
3 things.
Okay.
Three things that worked.
And it's about what I did.
Yes.
Okay. What's 3 things that worked about what you did? Okay. If you got out of your comfort zone and you reached out and made a new friend connection without spamming them on social media, okay, what worked about that? List them out. First 3 things that worked about it. You can go more than 3, but at least 3. And then the second piece of it is what didn't work about it.
And this is 2 things. 2 things that didn't work. And this one we're a little strict about. It's only 2 because we can all go on this laundry list of things that are not working. Okay.
Especially if you're having
much easier to go there. And so we limit this one to only 2 things that didn't work.
If you're having a rough day, it's very easy to get carried away with number 2, but that is actually going to put you more into a stuck state because now you're overloaded and overwhelmed with all the things that aren't working instead of, okay, these 2 didn't work. These are the big ones, right? Again, evaluation. This is where you can organize, okay, and prioritize of the things that worked. Awesome. What are the 2 big ones that didn't work about that? And then the third part of it is what might I choose to do differently? Okay, you guys have the power of choice to create your own business, to really create the life and the lifestyle that you want. Okay, it's all within your power, and using the evaluation tool can help with relationships, with your teammates. It can work with your productivity in your business as saying, this is the things that I'm getting done today. This is my list. How many of you like lists? Let me know. Raise your hands. You like to check them off. There's something so gratifying about that. But let's say
it's externalizing.
Yep. But let's say you didn't get through that list. What worked about what I did get done? Okay, I didn't get the 7 things done that I wanted, but I really did number 1, and then I spent extra time with my family. Okay, what worked about the entire process? It does not have to be just business related because let's be real, our businesses are being built at home. Yep. We have families, there's a different economic climate, and so there's a lot of different things that are going on that we have to take into consideration when we're building, okay? And this evaluation piece will help you stay out of judgment so that the overwhelming things can kind of come off a little bit so that you can move forward effectively and efficiently in your business. Okay. So again, real quick, number 1, what is your intention? Write it down.
Yep.
Okay.
What is your intention?
What is it that you have access to? What is it, the skills that you already have? Okay. Write it all down.
Yep.
Brain dump. wherever makes sense for you. Okay. And then organize. What is the, out of all the things that I need to get done, because this is where I am and this is where I want to be, what are all the things I need to get done? Write it all down. It may seem like a very overwhelming large list, but this is where we prioritize, we consolidate and say, okay, of all these things, okay, having a pretty headline on my email, is it as important as doing a Facebook Live? Okay, which one of these is actually going to get me more face time with my audience? Which one of these things is actually going to be a money-making activity that's going to build and further my brand in the most efficient amount of time?
And that is the key. That also falls back to what we talked about earlier about the analysis of paralysis. If you're just doing something that is not actually moving you forward, if it's not connecting you with somebody on social media, if it's not, connecting somewhere, whether that's putting out an email, talking to somebody on a messenger chat, okay, if you're not making a connection or furthering your business with an action step, if it's just simply, putting a note somewhere in a book, it's probably not high on the priority list. So keep in mind, it's that money-making activity, something that's moving your business forward.
And that is perfect for number 4, is take action with what you have.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to have the newest, latest, craziest thing to be able to move forward. Okay. I personally found myself lost in that, where I want, a better camera to take better pictures on social media when we started out. The reality of it is, it doesn't matter. People want to see you, and they wanted to know what value we could provide. Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're using a DSLR camera that has like all the bells and whistles. It matters of how are you showing up and how are you providing value to your audience, okay?
And then that last piece, you guys, is that evaluation, okay?
Yes.
Remember, it's 3 things. What 3 things worked about what you did? And you did, okay? It is you.
You got to take
'cause
ownership.
it's your business and you have to
business,
own it. So
your
what 3
actions.
things worked about what you did? 2 things that didn't work about what you did. And then 1 thing that you can change or do differently tomorrow.
Okay. You guys, we appreciate you spending some time with us. Wendy, thank you so much for the comments.
Wendy, we appreciate
Everyone
you being
else
on.
who's been on, we
Yes.
appreciate you and encourage you to go back through and actually list the things that we've talked about, okay? What is it that where are you at in your business? Where do you want to see yourself? And what are the things that you need to do to get there? Take the time to write this down. Don't get stuck in analysis of paralysis, like, oh my gosh, there's all the things, okay? But maybe if you're feeling overwhelmed, pare it down to what is it that I want to see happen today? Or what is it that I want to see happen in the next 7 days? Okay, start there, getting into a habit. And as you build that habit muscle, it will become a little bit easier for you, and that you'll be able to move through this more efficiently and more fluidly.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, we appreciate you spending some time with us.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.